Hello, and I just wanted to jump on and record this whilst it is so fresh in my mind. No jazzy intros, not even going to throw an outro on this. This is simply going to be to the point for your listening. So today I have been having download after download after download. And what I mean by that is kind of like insights coming through me that need to be shared. And I had this like mega epiphany earlier that I really want to share with you and I think is going to be so, so helpful. And in the process of just going to wait to record this, I just wanted to double check a fact. And I've learned something completely new, which is going to throw this conversation even deeper than I thought. So, this conversation is around perimenopause, menopause, and our approach, our reaction, and what we're experiencing at this time. And it was a thought that I had today. So, I really hope that it supports you, and I hope it supports you regardless of where you are in your journey through life. I think this will support you regardless of how old you are, what stage you're in. It's just something to really, really think about. And if you're younger, then you can get started earlier. And if you're past the stage, you can let me know what you think. So, what was coming through for me, and I would say probably like maybe the past month or so, I've had this realization that I didn't hate my perimenopause as much as I thought I did. And, it really has been such a education and learning experience and an opportunity to get to know myself better. And what was coming through for me today, and I'm going to open my phone because I saved some stuff on my phone as it was coming through because I knew that I would forget. Um, was what if during our perimenopause or menopausal time, what if the stuff that was being revealed to us, the challenges we were facing, all the things that were coming up for us were our weaknesses? I'll put that, some people don't take offense when I use that word, and I'll explain why I use that word. Our weaknesses or challenges coming up to be healed before we move into this post-menopausal crone wise woman stage. So starting from the beginning, there's often 4 or 3 stages that people kind of term our female lives. So the 3 stages might be maiden, mother, crone. These are kind of like archetypes that people may use, and it's kind of these different points in our lives. So you don't have to be a mother to be in the mother stage, it's just a time where we are beginning to, I guess, learn how to mother ourselves and look after ourselves and look after other people and support other people. Where the maiden, I guess, the initial part of our life as a woman is this, the freshness, the newness, the learning things, being experiential and doing all these different things. And then we move to that mother stage where this is what one of the things that was coming through today, where we learn to mother ourselves, look after ourselves, and support others. And then we move to this wise woman stage. However, what I would say is I just discovered that often there is a 4th stage. Okay, so it goes maiden, mother, wild woman. Hello, this is the stage that I am at. Crone, wise woman. So during this wild woman stage, which I would say is this kind of perimenopause, menopausal stage, what has been coming up for me is, and as I said, the word weaknesses was I have experienced difficulties with things that I had thought that I had healed in the past, like anxiety, depression, worrying about what others think about me, the vestibular stuff that I had experienced, like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever, more than that, came back up. And this was all things that I thought I had healed, that I had processed, stuff around relationships, stuff around my health, all these different things. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is happening? That all these things are coming up. And it just felt awful. And I was navigating all my perimenopause symptoms. And I just felt like the universe had said, here, Susie, frickin' deal with this, and kicked me right up the arse. And what I got thinking about today and what came through today was actually this: before I can move to that wise woman stage, before I can move to that crone stage, I need to heal the stuff from the maiden stage, the stuff from the mother stage, and allow all that to come up to be healed. Now, on my 43rd birthday, I decided that I was going to have my healthiest year yet. This was the year that I was going all in. I mean, I was pretty healthy. I'm really active. I eat well. I meditate. I do all the things, but I wanted to up level it. I knew that there was a vibration higher than what I was experiencing. But the universe had other plans, because that year was the year that I have never felt so low, so ill, so challenged. And yeah, I have had to dial up the health stuff, but not because I felt so super high vibe during my 43rd year. I'm now 44. It was just challenge after challenge after challenge. So I think that we need to reevaluate this whole perimenopause, menopause situation, and think about what is coming up for you. Now, a lot of women will experience anger, rage at this time. And to me, from what's come through this morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, it all makes so much sense. If you have suppressed that throughout your life, suddenly it's going to come up. If you have let people trample all over your boundaries and been a people pleaser throughout your life, that's going to freaking come up. It's like the universe is going to give each and every one of us a real kick up the arse to resolve and heal all the stuff that we haven't yet healed. So maybe your kids don't help out much at home, and then it's like, so you like, that's going to come up for you. Maybe you don't prioritize sleep, so maybe that comes up for you because suddenly you can't bloody sleep. Maybe your diet's really shit, and then suddenly that comes up because you're experiencing so much fatigue. It's like, it's forcing us in this wild woman archetype, this wild woman stage, to become that wild woman, to recognize my needs matter. I am important. And if you haven't been giving yourself the self-love in that mothering stage, now is the time, and you're going to be forced to. So some women breeze it through menopause. I'm not saying that this is 100% the reason why. This is just what came through for me today. I have freaking struggled like so bad, and obviously I have HRT, and that's helped me loads, but there's still stuff to be healed. There's still stuff to be transformed. I have been on this journey with my vestibular health for 15 months now, trying to support myself in this way. But I used to take on too much. I get excited by life. I get really like excited, stuff comes up and I'm like, yeah, I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I haven't been able to do that in this not wise woman yet, in this wild woman stage. I have been forced to say, no, like the universe is saying, you can't do that. You cannot do all those things. You need to decide from your tiny little bucket of energy what is important. And if you don't, we're going to make you like literally lie down and not feel great, because you're not listening to your intuitive self. You're not listening to what needs to be healed. You're not doing the work. And I've been working with a homeopath for my vestibular stuff as well. And what I came to realize, and one of the reasons I went to see her, was that the first time I had vestibular issues was the time that my husband and I were initially told we couldn't have children. The second time it came up for me was after I decided to give up the IVF journey and stop there. So again, being told basically, yeah, like you're not going to have children. And then the third time this has come up in December, like 15 months ago, however long ago that was, like not last December, December before we made the decision to give up the adoption process. And then all this stuff started again. And I'm like, this is so interesting. I can say that now that I'm not in the depths of bloody depression, but it's so fascinating and interesting how moving from this mother archetype into this wild woman archetype, I am being forced to heal all those mothering issues, the grief over my own mother, the fact that I wasn't mothering myself properly, the fact that I wasn't going to be a mother to another child, whether that be biologically or through adoption or through IVF or whatever. You know, as I'm moving towards this wise woman crone stage, you know, where I will no longer be able to conceive, you know, it's like, okay, all these things need to be healed. And to me, that is so fascinating. So I feel like this, whatever you're going through during this time, see if this resonates. Stop and think, okay, is there more work to be done in this area? Maybe it's your career. Like, you know, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing with my life anymore. I feel like this is the opportunity in this wild woman stage to take it all back, to claim it all back so that we can move forward into this crone stage, or wise woman stage, a wise woman, right? Because if we're still doing the same shit that didn't support us before, how are we a wise woman? We're not. We're being bloody stupid and not, you know, rectifying the situations that are causing us pain. Maybe you're in a relationship that isn't supporting you and like it's depleting you, whether that be a partner or a friendship or something. Like, you will find as women go through perimenopause and menopause, they're like, fuck this shit. I'm not putting up with this anymore. And this is this wild woman. So I want you to view it as this opportunity to redefine yourself. And that's the point I'm at. I'm redefining my purpose. I'm redefining who I am. I'm pulling all these aspects back to myself. I'm healing myself. It's still a work in progress. I am not the wise woman yet. I am not the crone yet. And that's okay. And I'm actually delighted that before recording this, I discovered this other one, the wild woman. And I'm like, hello, this makes so much sense. Because I was saying to a friend the other day, I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready to be a crone. Like, I'm not that wise woman yet. Like, I don't feel like I'm there. And that's why, because we move from mother to wild woman, where we begin to check in with our boundaries, what supports us, what doesn't support us. And if we're not honoring that, you're going to be forced to. And you really do want to heal that so we can move into this wise woman crone stage feeling really freaking empowered. So think about, you know, your time, your energy, where are you putting it? Who are you giving it to? What's important to you? Who are you? Who are you not? Who were you before that you don't want to be anymore? This is the time, wild woman, to make those changes, right? And this is what I'm saying, whatever age you're at, right? If you're in the maiden stage, you can start doing the work now, right? You can heal those things. You can recognize, I mean, we all have to learn our own lessons, right? But you know, we can have those boundaries in place. We can look after ourselves. You know, we don't have to be in that hustle culture. Like, I know I was in such a hustle culture in that maiden stage. It did not support me. The effects of the stress, the effects of the anxiety, the effects of burning the candle, being the party girl, doing all those things did not support me when I reached the mother stage. Because then when I reached the mother stage, I had like all that stuff and it like self-combusted into a breakdown, you know? It's like, oh my gosh, like I am so ready now to heal this, to learn this lesson. So I just wanted to come live on that. Please, honestly, I want to hear your opinion if you think this is true. Like, what is appearing to you as a weakness during this stage or a challenge? You know, is it well, I was literally forced to kind of stop working. I couldn't keep working at one point because I physically, mentally could not work. Like I had to just like lie on the sofa and sleep. And that made me be forced to review my work and what I was putting into my work and all of those things. So yeah, the balance stuff, obviously that's forcing me to like literally look at my balance, but also to heal the mother stuff that I mentioned come up in and around that, the fatigue, looking at diet. I've dialed up my diet, I've dialed up my nutrition. I use a lot of supplementation, as well as eating good foods because my body needs it because it's working really hard. I've overcome a lot of fear. I've overcome a lot of self-doubt. Like I find myself saying stuff literally the past 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm so I would have classed myself before as kind of, I don't know, like pretty modest and like embarrassed by any kind of success. And, you know, I had a conversation with a coach the other day and I said to her, I went like, I know I'm really great at loads of different things. Because she's like, oh, where do you want to go with your business? And I was like, well, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this and this and this and this. I said, and I know I'm great at all those things. And I would never have said that before. But I think this is the thing with a wise woman. It's time to own it. It's time to own all the things that we're good at and all the things that need to work on and just get really freaking honest. So I hope this conversation has hyped you up. I'm going to do a new jazzy intro to the podcast and jazzy outro at some point. But for today, I want to get this out there. I want you to listen. I want you to let me know if this affects you, if this inspires you, if you can relate. And if you can't, well, I'm sorry. That's the divine downloads that I've had today that have like really sparked the hell out of me. And yeah, I will be back sharing and thinking of the new jazzy intro, jazzy outro of what I want this podcast to be about. I'm just redefining myself, redefining my business, redefining myself as a mother, redefining myself as a wife, redefining myself as a partner, as a friend, as a human being, as a spiritual being. And today, that is fucking awesome. Other days, it's a wild ride. But wherever you are, I hope this supports you. And I can't wait to connect with you real soon. So reach out to me on the Instagram, Be Free with Susie McWilliam, website, Be Free with Susie McWilliam, Facebook, surprise, surprise, Be Free with Susie McWilliam. And I will catch up with you all real soon. So much love.